Welcome to Cooking with Chemistry 110, Boneless Chicken. So today I'm going to be going through and making a boneless chicken. You can pretty much do this with any poultry, and you can stuff it with whatever you want. There's even, you can use twine and actually tie up the chicken so it stays fuller. However, for this one, I've got a foil baking tray ready in the oven, and so it's just a matter of make it boneless, lift it up, plonk it in, and turn on the oven. And you can stuff it with whatever you want. So usually I use either a mashed potato or a mix of like croutons and milk and eggs and vegetables and whatever you want to put into it. Today, for speed, I have picked up some pak choi and mushrooms and potatoes. The potatoes will take too long to cook if you put it inside the chicken. It takes a longer cook. That's why mashed potato going into the chicken makes sense because then it's faster. I have Felina here who's smelling the chicken and just wants to get in on it. So let's begin. So what you need is a really sharp knife. Um, like it's a knife for cooking. Cooking usually has sharp knives, a boning knife. So please be careful. All right. If you're not sure, just don't use the knife. Don't do it, or an oven, or anything. But yeah, that's you need a pretty sharp knife because you have to cut sort of like through skin and through the meat. But yeah, pretty sure chefs use a boning knife, right? To do nice fillets or whatever they're going to do. Um, However, just the solid sharp knife is pretty good. And what you're going to do is you basically, I'll do the cuts and you'll be able to see it. Um, and essentially, you're cutting just along the spine, and then you're just basically taking out the carcass. Once you do it more than once, you start to get the hang of it really easily. But the first time is usually a bit of trickiness. So I'll do it today, and you can see sort of some of the cuts and the way I approach the cuts, so that if you don't know what you're doing, it should be okay. Just be real careful. Yeah, because it's very little. It's kind of a bit intricate, like getting all the right cuts and whatnot. But you'll see what I mean as I go through and do it. Okay, so I'm going to begin in just a moment, just sorting out some buttons. Here we go. Felina. Okay. Alrighty. Let's begin. So you just want to wow this knife sharp. You just want to cut. You want to cut just along the spine, and then you'll feel that like there's the bone. So essentially, just do some cuts, just get through the skin all the way. And when you come to the base, the little nuggety bit on the end, just pick one side and just cut in from that side. So it's not perfectly symmetrical. Come on, come on, please, Felina. She wants chicken, so I might as well just satisfy her thirst. Oh, yeah, okay, there's a piece. Leave me alone. All right. Okay, so you should have a hole on either end. And then what you want to do is you want to wrap down and around, and wrap down and around. You just kind of grab a bit of the skin and just sort of just cut in there. Just do little slices if you like. Feel there's a bone there, so come around it. And that seems to be that bone. I mean, I can pull up a biology thing and it can go through the name of all the bones, but essentially, you're just trying to make a boneless bit of food. Ah, you've already finished your piece of meat, have you? You want more? Okay. Yeah. Leave me alone. Okay. Just as you pull stuff away from the bone, you can feel where there's meat, and then just cut closest to the bone. So then here you can feel you've come up to the, the top of the thigh bone. So just you can just sort of pop it out of the socket, but once it's that out, and then make some cuts there, and then yeah. If you can feel it's just meat, just cut closest to the bone. That's all. Cut in here. I can feel that there's a bone there, so I just come to the top of the bone. There'll be a bit of wastage meat on the bones. That's normal. Hi Viv, it's Felina. And so when you feel that there's a bone, just like cut on the other side. So yeah, there'll be a bit of wastage. There'll be meat on the bones, but this is where you can take those bones and then throw it in and make a broth and a soup and all the other things. So there's the chicken thigh, and it's pretty much disconnected. But I'm not cutting the bottom side. It's a different cuts, just the top side. So then the next I got to get out is the top side here. Cut along with this meat. Not too deep, not too far. Then once you get up to here to the shoulder, there's a joint in here. So I find it easiest just to pull out that bone. If it doesn't come all the way out, just see if you can cut meat and cartilage and then just bone, right? And then you can feel that there's ribs here, so you just want to cut above the ribs on top of the bone side. Right? And just leave the whole wing. And then here, you can shortcut it by simply looking. And now because it's so thin, you should see through it. You want more meat? Fine, here's a chunk of meat. Yeah, leave me alone. Okay, so then you've got just pretty much on that side, it's just the ribs. If you just cut straight through it, you can fix it up on the other side afterwards. And that's pretty much that side done. So we turn it around, and we just do the same thing on this side. Just see if you can grab the skin. Just do some little cuts. Just get the meat or the skin to come up. Just grab the skin and just pull away. If you pull away, you'll see where the section is. That's meat that you have to cut. She loves the chicken. Oh yeah. Okay, let's grab the skin. I find the thigh area is easier, so just start down there. Pinch the skin and pull away. And just work your way up, and then you can come back down again. It just gives you more to pull on. And then I think there's like, what is it, the oyster meat part of the chicken. Hey, hey, or do I have to feed you again? Do I? We're here. All right, just sort of cut there. Just if you're not sure, just feel it. You feel there's a bone there, so just go further up and over, and you can feel there's meat in there. Okay, so we've pretty much hit where the thigh is. So same deal. Just kind of find it, and you can kind of pop it out a little bit. And now that it's mostly popped out, you can then access like cutting inside to disconnect it. And there, that's disconnected now from the thigh, but like there's still the normal meats and stuff. So same deal, just keep cutting. It's just a bit of patience with this one. So you can feel that there's a bone underneath there. So you can come from the inside, doesn't really matter. Once you get to the thinner part and just cut there, just come out to the end, and then you'll find that you've got the bone and then the meat is separated. And give it a pull, there's nothing wrong with that. Cool. All right, almost there. All right, we've got that other bone here. Run with thumb up. Snapped it. Okay, but I've snapped it, but it's incomplete. So I need to get the top part of that bone. Um, so here's the rib cage. So you can just sort of do a cut there, straight across, and disconnect it. And there's the carcass. So like the ribs and the hips. Throw that away, or not throw it away, but put it to use to make other things, broth, whatever. So I want that piece of bone that was left behind in the top there. So just cut away and around it. There it is. Cut down. Little cuts, just cutting around it. Okay. I found it, and it's very sharp. And you want to remove it, as well as the front triangle bone as well, the wishbone. You also want to remove that as well. Those bones are real choking hazards. Okay, so I can see it's there. So I'm just going to cut a little bit further, and now I bring it to the front. Now that I've taken the top half out, bring it to the front. I run my thumb and finger in, and I can feel where the wishbone is. And so then just sort of make some cuts. Okay, so that one there. Okay, so then the front. Then the front. Okay, that's disconnected. Okay, so that was that chunk of bone from the other one. So there's the front rib, front of uh, that section of the chicken. I'm not entirely sure about the names. Maybe I can look it up afterwards and I'll look up what their names are. Side quest. Okay. Come to the front here. Same deal. I can. Excellent. Okay. Let's bone. If you want to rip out one of the bones, just run the knife down, do a round cut around the bone, and then just sort of scrape downwards. Like there's a piece of meat next to that bone parallel, so you can just cut in around the top of the bone and then just scrape, and it'll come down as a whole piece of meat. Okay, Felina, over here. No, you want that piece? You go around. Go around. Hey, there you go. You can have that. All right, take that bone out. Then is the wishbone in the front part. Just run the knife down that one. Run the knife down that one. Just a little bit. You can feel the bone. Cut out the back side. Feel the bone coming down. Okay, I won't pull it just straight, pull it out and then dig it out, which sometimes I do, because I'll show you the shape of the bone that you're looking for. You can just do some small cuts around here. Done. So that in there is the wishbone. We'll give all this meat to Felina. 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 All right. There's that wishbone. You want to get rid of that one. That one's a choking hazard for cats, dogs, everything. That one's you got to be. If you haven't trained up your animal how to eat bones, don't give them that one. All right. So then we come here to this piece, and we just kind of run some cuts down along the side, and you should be able to see where you can make some incisions there, and it runs along the bone so that you can cut it out from the top side. So then you have this cartilage triangle piece. To be honest with you, I cook with it and eat it, therefore I don't consider it a part of the deboning, but if you wanted to remove it, you could. So I cut it there, and then run the knife down there. Cool. So that section should come out now if you just peel away the meat. What's up, Felina? You want another piece of meat? Oh, she saw that. Okay. So just scrape away. Make a cut. Scrape it away. Make a cut. Oh, that's just a bit of bone. You're just trying to cut this piece out and make a cut along the back side. Down there. There's that bone. Done. Done. And that's the piece of bone you're trying to cut out. It's kind of like a little shark fin with some little bits. Okay, now come back and just have, like, I have a feel around just to make sure there is no bone. You can clearly feel the bone, but I don't feel anything, and I know that I've taken all of it out. All right, you got the wings. So you can debone the wings. I'll show you one. I'll show you both. Because I have another little trick. I call it a lollipop because it just looks like a lollipop. Now there are two tenderloin pieces there. If you wanted to cook the chicken more evenly, you could take the tenderloins out so it's not as thick. But I'm leaving it in. Leave that cartilage in. So now essentially you have something that looks like that, right? Okay. And there's no major bones in it. There is a thigh bone, there is a drumstick bone, there is a single wing bone, and then two wing bones, and then like a wing is like kind of like your the bones in your hand. Like it's a whole bunch of bones. It's just like all your ear or something like that. Like it's just a whole load of little ones. To be honest with you, if you air fry a wing snippet like that, right? You can throw that into the oven, and it's a nice nibble. To be honest with you, that's more like if that well cooked is like a prawn cracker sort of thing, like a chip. So I'm okay with cooking that separately. Then we have this one here, which there's a joint in there, so you can bend it if you want to bend it. You don't have to, and then cut there, cut there. Feel where the bone joint is there. Up around the back. Done. That's the second piece. So there are two bones in it. So what I do is I'll sort of pinch the smaller, thinner one, or whichever one comes out, to be honest with you, and just sort of push it upwards. And so you can get something like that, right? And then the smaller one gonna come out. The bigger one, are you gonna come out? The bigger one will come out. There we are. So then the smaller bone has completely come out. Well, the idea was meant to be. I didn't realize that small one ended up coming out. Should have left the bigger one in. And what ends up happening is you get something that looks a bit like this, right? And while the chicken's cooking and takes a long time, this is like, oh, want to try the nibble? You pull it out and it's like a little piece of meat on a stick, right? And I can just throw that on top of the chicken, which I'll do without the bone because that one the bone came out, right? Then we'll do the other side, same deal. Hey, 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 hey. Cool. Hey, 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 hey. Lena, this side, this side, this side. Lena. Yeah, go that way, then go here, go there, go there. Okay, let's just sit there then. Whatever. Alright. So this time we'll try and take out the smaller one. And then the larger bone, we can just make an incision around the top. Okay. And then just pull it down a bit. Alina, hey, get out of it. Get out of it. And then you have that. Felina's on the other table trying to come in. Anyways, that one's separate cooking. Okay. Then I personally leave the little bone in there, but you can take it out. So I'll show you how to take it out. All you want to do is just basically cuts around the top. Hey, get out of it, Felina. Go over there. Go over there. Stop bothering me. Stop bothering me. Thank you. Get out of it. That's just the gloves. All right. Make a cut around the top. And then essentially it just kind of pulls out. Like that. And then that section is now boneless. Alina, stop. Please, stop. Okay. So that's the top side, right? And then you have the thigh. Felina, get out of it. You got chicken there. You've got chicken there. Go that side. Now don't sit down. You're a naughty cat. And don't knock off my phone. Get out of it. Come this side. Come this side. Go this side. Hey. Psst, psst, psst. No, don't look at me over here. Go this side. This side. Look. Whoa, she says. Yeah, go there then. Go there then. Go there then. Go. Look. Come on, move. Move. Oh my god, she's sitting down again. Alright, fine. Yes, Felina. You do your thing. Alright, so then we can grab the thigh bone. Essentially same thing. Just do a little cut around the top. Right? Then you can just run the knife down and scrape. Right? And then just, so with the thigh, it's connected to the drumstick. So you just need to sort of like disconnect it a little bit to help with the cutting for it to come off easier. Oh, she's going over. There we go. She's found the meat. Yeah, that's your meat. Okay. No, you can't have this. This is the broth. No, you can't have it. No, you can't have it. No, leave me alone. Get out of it. Yeah, that's right. Eat your chicken. All right, so we have the thigh bone there. We just need to get it out. So just make some cuts here. Just work it out. You know, try not to leave any bone behind. because the bone can be sharp. To be honest with you, this one here, ta-da, there's the thigh bone, right? And then you also have the drumstick. So with the drumstick, simply just hold on to it, flip it over your hand, and then sort of work it out like an ice cream, holding it like an ice cream, and just work it out. Keep as much meat as you can. You can keep the cartilage, you can get rid of the cartilage. It's going to be cooked, but the bone you don't want. So that cartilage has completely come off that bone, like just naturally. So therefore, I'm going to leave it. Like I'm going to leave the cartilage, but I will take out the bone. And you got to get that little side bone in the drumstick too. You got to get that one also. I've got to find where it is. Okay, pretty sure that's it there. Yeah, I'm on. Yeah. Okay, so that's the top of the side bone. So with the drumstick, you got to get this one out. So it seems to have snapped in half. There's the top half. It's kind of like a number 6. And then you got to get the longer part out as well. And just feel around that no bone is left behind. Scrape it down. Okay, that's the bone there. So this piece of bone before it snapped is connected there. Right, so I know I have all of it. Hey, get out of it. Felina wants all of it. Get out of it. Alright. And then you just pull it down gently. If you pull it down too hard, you're gonna tear and rip it and you lose the cosmetic. But taste wise, not gonna make much of a difference. So just work your bone out. There it is. And then at the very end, you might have to do a little cut. The less cut you do and the less tearing you do, then the better the seal on the end of the drumstick. That's fine there. It's just a bit of cut. Actually, that came all the way out. Easy. There's your drumstick. And then feel around now. So now you have a boneless thigh drumstick fillet that you can stuff with whatever you want. And because the end seal is good, should be sealed, essentially. Right. So there's your thigh, drumstick, and your wing, all completely boneless. That's half the chicken completely boneless. However, for the other half of the chicken, I'm going to show you the way that I usually do it, because like boneless, getting rid of all these thin little rib bones and breast bones and just rib cage bones and stuff, they're all annoying, but they do add to flavor. I have found that the chicken is less flavor without the bones, but ease of eating makes it totally worth. Absolutely, like that's what everyone has ever said. Whenever I've made it for them, they're like, "Oh my goodness, I get to eat everything." And a drumstick bone and a thigh bone are quite large. That wing bone, quite large. Then it's done. So essentially, that is the boneless chicken, completely filleted, right? Except for what I just said, but you could completely fill it. I'm just going to do half half, because if I was making it for myself, I would leave those 3 bones in. But for purposes of showing for the stream, it's boneless essentially would be getting rid of those 3, which I showed on one half. Okay. Then we take our chicken, and now we can stuff it. So you can take out the 2 fillet tenderloins if you want to take them out. I'm just going to leave them. And now what we want is vegetables. So mushroom, cut up. Okay, mushroom cut up finely. Fine. Okay. Pak Choi. And just put it in there. break it, put it in, extra mushrooms. Now I'm not putting potato inside it because it'll take too long to cook. I can also take the fillets out to make it also cook faster on that fillet part, but I'm leaving it there because it retains more moisture. All right, that's nicely stuffed on one side. Then I can take a potato, right? And I can very thinly shave it because that'll have very thin surface area. That'll cook very quickly, right? I can stick that in there, no issues. But if I stick a thick cut of potato, it won't be cooked, right? Mushrooms. Or Pak Choi. Okay. I just went to the supermarket and picked up some things that I thought would cook very quickly. Pak Choi will cook really quickly. Mushrooms will cook really quickly. You can eat them raw. You can't eat this raw because I'm touching raw chicken and so it should be cooked. So everything in that bowl is going to be cooked. None of that in that bowl is going to be eaten raw. That's that half of the chicken just stuffed, right? Then you can stuff the other side. Give me a few more mushrooms. You can chop it up beforehand, chop it inside. It doesn't really matter. It's mushroom. Like the thinner you cook it, the faster it'll cook. But when mushrooms are very thin, um, sometimes it's really hard to even see they're there. I like nice thick cuts. That's just personal preference. So tidy it up. Okay. Then you grab the two front parts and you can seal them up, as well as grabbing the back side. And essentially you've stuffed it. Right? It's a stuffed boneless chicken, and then just throw it in. Should be all right. Now I like to put the thighs upwards because then they're not in the oil because there's a lot of fat in the chicken. So a lot of the fat is going to melt and come out and sit in the bottom of the pan unless you have some way to raise it up with like a gauze and then underneath all the oil collects. But what I'm doing is I'm just putting it straight on the flat bowl. So it's just going to build up with oil while the chicken is still in it. Okay. Once you put that in, you can then take like your lollipops and just stick them on top. Right, and that's it. And then just put the oven on and you're good to go. Here's a piece of chicken for being a good girl. All right, I'll move this out of the way. Same with that one can go in, but for the moment, I'm just going to put them over here, get them out of the way for a moment. And once it's in, you can stick some more vegetables or whatever. Now, there is another trick that you can do to tie it up, which I can do, but I'm not going to do for this because I find it's a lot of effort for like presentation, whereas this is just slapped together, which is just going to be the same tasting and delicious, but without the cosmetic. If I was cooking it for like guests, where it was going to be placed out in front of people to take cuts, I would definitely use twine and do a special knot through it, which is basically loop and then come around it under, then loop under, loop, then under, and that holds it together. And then you just do one cut and the whole thing just goes back. It just opens up. So. Grab it, bring it over, pop it in. Just adjust it. Excellent. Now cook. Awesome. A few extra things. This one, this one, this one, this one on top. Set it for 1 hour, and yeah, put the temperature on about 180. Then just let it cook. I'm gonna pack these things away in the kitchen. All right, very good. All right, so while that's in the oven, we can pull this up. So we have 1 whole chicken. We have Swiss brown mushrooms. We have Pak Choi and potato. Cool. And then the Swiss brown mushrooms is all right. So whole chicken, Swiss brown mushrooms, pak choi, potato. Use vegetables, croutons, milk, egg, mashed potato as you like, as you like as filling. As you use vegetables, croutons, milk, egg, mashed potato, uh, as you like to taste. As you like to taste. Be mindful. Carrot and potato take a long time to cook. Mushrooms and pak choi are instant. Pak choi, mushrooms, What else is really, really fast? I'll just leave it at that. It makes sense. Things like mashed potato require pre. Cool. That's it. All right. So ease. This one ease is not so high. I would say that how easy is this one to make? I would say that this is probably about maybe like 3 out of 10. A little bit more difficult. Um, eat. It's not easy. Um, and it's also a bit time consuming and takes a bit of quirky effort. So ease is pretty low. Budget, um, whole chicken, vegetables. You're looking at like what that chicken was like, something like $8, $10. Some vegetables, $3 worth. Feeds two big adults easily. So budget wise, I would say is really high. Um, I'm gonna say budget's probably like a 9 out of 10. Very good value. Very cheap for large quantity. Flavor, I'll do that afterwards. But for me, it's pretty much like an 8.5 out of 10. I'm sure I've eaten it before. I know it's 8 out of 10. Don't you need to preheat the oven? No. So preheating the oven. So with preheating the oven, if if you set it, for example, to 300 degrees and you put the chicken in, and the oven is already 300 degrees and you put it in, the outside's going to hit 300 degrees of the chicken, for sure. It's there. And then that's receiving 300 while the center isn't receiving anything. And because of the water in the chicken, it takes a long time for that heat to get through the chicken. So it means you can essentially burn the outside and like have a raw center. Okay, so therefore, by having the oven cold and putting the chicken in, as the oven itself warms up, the chicken warms up in temperature in line with it. Because essentially, all you need to do is cook this chicken at 67 degrees, right? Obliteration temperature for bacterias and molds and salmonella and E. coli or anything like that. So if you set the temperature to 75 degrees and you put it in, you're going to have a chicken that's okay to eat. If you set it to 100, you're going to boil the water so it can be drier. If you set it to 410, you will burn all the oils in the chicken so it can taste like burnt. That's pretty much it. But if you set it to 66 degrees or 75, just a little bit higher for extra caution, so the center's not raw, and the whole 75 goes all the way through the chicken, I think it would be quite nice. I might have a look if there's a way that I can get a more accurate oven that you set a specific temperature to. I will look into this as a side note. Then I can set the temperature because I would like to cook with 66, 75, 99, 105, 180, 320, 330, 370, 380, and probably not much. I don't see much point to be cooking above 390 degrees. I mean, like if I go to what 600 degrees, I can melt sand, and if I go to 1800 degrees, I can melt metal like platinum. So I don't see any need to go to 1800 degrees, um, but somewhere between 75 up to about 180, 220, I think is perfect. Should be fine. That should be my workable range most of the time. Cooking, one of my other chemist friends did some cooking. He really enjoys cooking as well. And he was cooking at 35, 37 degrees. I had questions about it, and he never did it a second time. I didn't eat that food, and I'm not sure what the go is with him, but I'm pretty sure he did a slow long cook, which I'll look into. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing a slow cook meal, but like it's not really something I can do on stream unless I want to do what 36 hour stream of cooking and it's just like a pot sitting there, right? But I might do a sort of a before and after and then stream the after. But yeah, so that'll cook. Just let it go for a while, and yeah, I'll take it out in a bit. So this one here, so speed. Okay, so speed. This one's slow. Like this is the type of thing that when you go to cook it, everyone can smell it, everyone wants it, but like it's too hot. It's not fully cooked in the center yet. No one wants to eat raw chicken. So speed wise is people will wait because how nice it is. Um, but people don't want to wait. So it's very much when you know people are coming over at a certain time, you would go and do all the prep beforehand, have it in the oven, cook it, and then have it simmering at 60 degrees when they come over. That would work. And then just pull it out for dinner time and everyone will dig in. That'll be really nice. So speed wise is I would say less than 5. 5 is that you would do it again. So speed, it goes under that because it's not doable in the first place in front of people. It's quite slow. It's not like air frying something for like 5 minutes to 20 minutes to 15 minutes. This is going to take you minimum 45 to 60 minutes, 75 minutes even. Can take 90 minutes. Just depends how things are going, what you've stuffed it with, all those sorts of factors. So speed, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. So then overall, let's see what we get. We have equals 3, 12, 20 and a half, 24 and a half. 24.5 divided by 40 multiplied by 100, 61%. Okay. This one gets 61%. All right. So let's see if we can have a look for let's see if we can find a picture to see the bones. Let's see, skeletal system. About right. That picture is blurry. That's no good. All right, so I seem to have found the bones, but I want something different anyways. Pull that up. And let's make it a little bit bigger. Okay. Actually, I'll switch with it. Let's do this. All right, so open in image new tab. That works. All right, cool. So let's see. We started over here, so we've got so the scapula. So the two scapulas are the first two bones that I took out. This one here is the wishbone, which is the clavicle, or yep, the clavicle is the wishbone. That one's the one that's pretty dangerous. Then you have the coracoid, this one here. Oh yep, then I took that one out. Then I come down and around, pop that out, and then yeah, with this one here, just took out that one, left it. Then with this one here, you want to pop out one of those two bones and then just leave maybe the big one and make that lollipop. And then with this one here, just yeah, just did it like a rice cracker. Is that a bin chicken? It is not a bin chicken. Okay, a bin chicken is an ibis, which is a bird that I love. So we're side quest. Ibis wiki. Let's go. Come on, mate. Where's the ibises? Here we are. This is what Vidge is referring to as the bin chicken, which is an Australian thing. Is that a bin chicken? This is a bin chicken. Okay, beautiful ibis. All right, weird looking birds, very friendly. You can throw them bits of food and they'll eat it, and they're quite friendly. They're foragers. What else does it say here? Oh wait, how do I get out of the picture? There we go. Ibises, species. So there's an African sacred ibis. African sacred ibis. Oh wow. Is native to much of Africa. Oh wow, cool. What else is there? This one here is in the west coast of Madagascar. Oh, cool. What this one? The Australian white ibis. That's the bin chicken. What else is there? The straw-necked ibis. Spoonbill family, found in Australia and New Guinea and parts of Indonesia. What else is there? The Reunion ibis. Extinct species of ibis that was endemic to the volcanic island of Reunion in the Indian Ocean. The first subfossil remains were found in 1974, and the first ibis was scientifically described in 1987. Its closest relatives are the Malagasy. This one, the sacred ibis, is the closest one to the extinct bird. These are in Madagascar and Seychelles. Ooh, Seychelles Islands are beautiful. What else is there? The red-napped ibis. Oh, where are they? Indian subcontinent. Okay, so there's an Indian one. All right. The white-shouldered ibis. Oh wow, look at that wingspan. Largest is the largest species of bird in the family. It is native to small regions in Southeast Asia and considered to be one of the most threatened bird species on this part of the continent. Wait, this is a threatened bird and it's the largest of their species. What is it? The white-shouldered ibis is a large bird, is a large species of bird in the Brachiognathidae. Oh, look at that red one. What the hell? Includes 36 species of wading birds. The family is traditionally classified into two subfamilies, ibises and spoonbills. However, recent genetic studies have cast doubt on this arrangement. Okay, it's like the three-toed sloth that's got four toes, or the four-toed sloth that's got three toes. One of those things. They've named it, they've classed it, but now that we know more, it was kind of wrong. That's fine. That happens. It's native to small regions in Southeast Asia and is considered to be one of the most threatened bird species on the continent. The white-shouldered ibis was first described in 1875 by a bird collector. Based on the species' observed similarities with the black ibis, the two species were placed in the same genus, and in the more recent past, this ibis has been classified as a separate subspecies of the black ibis, but is currently recognized as a separate species. That's all right. They were like, oh, look, there's a bird. Oh, let's just name it this one because it looks similar to that one. Yeah, all right. And then later on, they're like, it's different. It's like, that does eggs different, or it like eats different, or it flies different, or something fancy. You won't like my mom. What? I also noticed that you won't like my mom. She tries to run the buggers over. Oh, tell her I said no. Tell her I said she shouldn't run them over. Say Logan said you shouldn't run them over. and then watch her go, who? Description. The adult stands at 60 centimeters tall, so about, wow, big bird. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the biggest of its class. Yeah, fair enough. The males being slightly larger, longer bills. Biometrics include vocalizations generally consist of loud, mournful calls that have been described as weird and unearthly screams. The bird makes the bird the oh, what's that sound? I don't know. It sounds weird and unearthly screaming. What the hell? The hoarse calls of territorial individuals have been described as or era. Its utter honking screams and ok 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 more sub and more subdued. Oh goodness. Okay, so this thing's a bit of a talker, it seems like. And when it does, everyone thinks it's weird and unearthly. Oh goodness. Alright. Southeast Asian ibis is more widely spread. It used to be extend through Southeast Asia, Myanmar and Thailand and Cambodia, Malaysia, Laos, Vietnam, and China. The current population is very small and its distribution highly fragmented, being restricted to northern and eastern Cambodia, southern Vietnam, extreme southern Laos, and East Kalimantan. Okay, so there's not much of the bird left. Oh, okay. Let's see. Cambodia has 95% of the global population. Okay, I wonder how many they think are left. Feeding, forages, forage through water, vegetation, that's fine, diet, breeding, other behavior, threats and survival. The largest threats to the population of this species are habitat conversion, such as wetland drainage for agriculture developments, such as plantations, unsustainable rural development, changing land management through, okay, so it's just loss of habitat. Okay. Needs to migrate to New Zealand. Go live on the South Islands little bird sanctuary. Maybe. I'm sure it could probably fly there. It just doesn't know where to go. Relationship with humans. Given the large species, some roost near trees and rice paddies, even when in use by people. However, this ibis is more likely is, is more attracted to the agricultural foraging grounds close to human habitation rather than humans per se. Although the white-shredded ibis is exploited opportunistically by humans for food, it is not commercially valued for trade. Oh, okay. So people are hunting it and eating it. Okay. But it's super threatened and endangered. It's not massively farmed or anything. Okay. Populations have declined over the late 20th century. The global population is estimated at 1,000 left, an estimated 670 of which are mature. A total of 973 individuals were counted in a nationwide population census in Cambodia in 2013, where 30 to 100 individuals estimated for the Indonesian portion species. Okay, so there's about 1,000 left back in 2013. Okay, cool. All right, so these are ibises. All right, so coming back to the chicken. So yeah, so I pull out the scapula, then take out the clavicle, which is the wishbone, then the coracoid, then come along, take that out, just take this top section off, then get the ribs out, and then do an incision there, and then take out that bottom part. That's it. It's the boneless. Awesome. Well, it's in the oven, and it's sorting it out. So it'll take a while to cook. So yeah, I'll put a little picture of it up. And other than that, thank you very much for joining tonight for the boneless chicken. Maybe a thought for next time is when something is going to take a long time, like I knew it was going to take 45 minutes to an hour and a half to cook. Maybe next time I'll try and make one and have a prepared one as I go to make something. Cool. Other than that, thank you very much for joining, and I hope you enjoy the boneless chicken, which you can stuff with whatever you want. You want to put in mashed potato? Go for it. You want to stick in croutons? Go for it. And I've just picked a few things that'll cook nice and quickly, which is pak choi and mushrooms. In which case I could have put onions, diced onions, zucchini, just anything, sweet potato, anything that you want to put into it, go for it. And yeah, just once it's cooked and the heat's gone all the way through it, pull it out, chop it up, and you're good to go. Thank you for joining tonight.